Hello there, another video for the fans. So today just a little Sunday workout. So you'll see me here doing some ab wheel. Just started off doing some ab exercises. This isn't all I did. I actually did some stuff before that. Did a few minutes on the stationary bike just to warm up, and did some other bits as well. So did some kettlebell swings and some kettlebell goblet squats to a box. Did some single leg Romanian deadlifts, just body weight only. Then did some king deadlifts, and then moved on to this ab stability circuit, which is basically doing 8 reps on the ab wheel, and then doing 8 reps of hip flexor raises, which you'll see in a moment. So I'm doing the ab wheel here. And if you notice, I'm not going all the way down to the floor, and the reason for that is quite simple, because I can't bloody do it. If you're doing it correctly, you will actually find it very difficult. A lot of people do it wrong, but you're actually supposed to contract and use your abs when you're doing it, hence the title ab wheel. A lot of people push with their arms or use their hips or legs or something. When I'm doing it, I'm trying to do my level best to actually use my abs to do it, but my abs are not strong enough to do it, so I'm just going down as low as I can. Now doing this hip flexor thing, I didn't find this too bad. I did 2 sets of this. The first set was only 6 kilos, and that was okay. So I'm now using an 8 kilo kettlebell for this. I should have put my shoes on, really. I've been doing a lot of exercise recently that I've never done before, or I've not done for a long time, and this is one of them. I've never done this before. Today was my first day doing these, so apologies if I'm a bit off with these. Still learning though. Those of you that follow my videos, you'll see that I finished a level weight training block. So all this is basically is just recuperation, really. Just taking it easy, nothing heavy really. But I do a lot more than what I put on my video sometimes. There's a lot of stuff that I do that I don't film. In actual fact, I actually did a complete workout the other day on Friday, and I didn't film it at all. I did 20 exercises on it, but I didn't record one single video. But I'll tell you what I did on that. That'll probably be for another video. So just warming up with the front squats here. Okay, so this is now front squats. I had to do 7 sets of 7 reps at 80 kilos. So this is the first set here. There was a choice. It just says do a squat. You can pick whatever squat you want. I could have done safety bar squats or back squats, but I elected to do front squats because that's what I plan to do in my next cycle. Also, I hurt my neck as well doing a 410 yoke. So at the moment, I'm trying to stay away from back squats. I'm actually trying to stay away basically from anything that involves me having to put weight on my back at the moment. My back of my neck is recovering, but it's still a bit lumpy at the moment, so I'm a bit apprehensive at the moment of putting bars on my back. So this these 7 sets of 7 front squats, I have to take just 60 seconds rest. This is a very tough workout actually. You'll see me there eating my banana. I normally have bananas and Lucasade, quick release of carbs. It does really help and gives me lots of energy. I saw Eddie Hall used to eat bananas in his workout, so that was one of the things that gave me the idea for that. My max front squat is 200 kilos. You can actually find the video of that on my channel. But today the program called for 7 sets of 7 front squats with just 40% of the load. So for me, that's 80 kilos, 40%. So 80 kilos, it might not sound like a lot, but when you've got to do 7 sets of 7 reps and you've only got 60 seconds rest, it does actually make it a lot harder. So moving on now to the second set. As you can see, I'm using a front squat harness here. I just haven't got a lot of my flexibility shit basically. I just haven't got the flexibility to hold a barbell properly. I used to do it cross hand, but I just invested in one of these little fellas. All it basically does is hold the weight for you. I still have to physically squat the weight, so all it does is help hold the weight in place. It doesn't really make it any easier, to be honest. It just makes it easier in holding the weight, but not in actually doing the squat itself. Notice I'm sitting down straight here. This is tough going actually. The first few sets weren't too bad, but it did start to get harder as well. And I'd already done like 4 exercises before this, so I'm munching on my banana there and drinking my Lucozade and just trying to get those carbs in basically. My fitness isn't very great, so I can't recover very quickly, unfortunately. When I'm doing my heavy weeks and all that, I do tend to take a lot of time between sets because power loves rest. It doesn't like to be rushed, but being a strong man as well, I do need to have some conditioning, so I do try to incorporate workouts where I have very little rest. And I'll say there's only 60 seconds rest here. I do a lot of EMOM training and all. In actual fact, you'll see that in this video as well. EMOM basically just means every minute on the minute, and that's very tough as well. But you're getting a lot of work done in a short time because you're doing your sets and reps, but you're barely resting. And 60 seconds is not a lot of time either. It's a very short rest period. I didn't like this at all. I found it very boring, but it's what's with the programme, so I just get my head down and do it. It's not fun at all, to be honest. You know, I love maxing out and doing the big weights and all that, or doing low reps and all that. I don't like lots of sets. I don't like a lot of volume, but at the end of the day, this is what builds the base. This is what helps. Although with this, the purpose of this actual particular workout is to help the aerobic system. So it's absolutely crucial that I only have 60 seconds rest, because the goal here is to try and make it more of an aerobic session, really. I've already done my time doing the big weights and the low reps. I will get back to that. I will start another training block, but at the moment, I suppose you could call this a timeout, really. This is where I'm moving away from the heavyweight and trying to work on my conditioning. My fitness is pretty piss poor, I must admit, and I have lost competitions because of my lack of fitness. There's been, and I've probably explained this before, there's been times where I've gone to competitions and my static strength has been good. I've been good on the deadlift, I've been good on the yoke, and I've got some good points there. But my fitness hasn't always been up to par, and I've been quite slow on the moving events. Last competition I did actually, it was a 105 kilo log, and I got 7 reps on that. So I got joint first, and on the deadlift I got joint second. I got 240 kilos for 9 reps. So statically I'm quite strong in the competitions I do, but unfortunately my speed and my fitness and my endurance and my stamina is usually what lets me down in competitions. So that is something I really do need to work on. Being 40 years old now and being natural, I don't recover quite well, and where some guys can do 4 or 5 workouts a week, if I'm going heavy I might only be able to get 3 in, and then I might have to space them out evenly apart. So even though I train 4 days in a week, sometimes my 4-day week actually is more like 10 or 11 days rather than 7, because I just can't keep up. Although last week I've pretty much worked out every other day. I took 2 weeks off. I didn't lift at all for 2 weeks, and then I started on Monday, the 4th of July last week. So my first training day was Monday, then I trained Wednesday, then I trained Friday, and then I trained today, Sunday. So I have actually done 4 workouts in a week. It's the first time I've actually managed to get 4 workouts done in 1 week, but I think the main reason for that is because it's been a lot lighter. It's been an easier deload week. I mean, this is called a deload week, but I actually really struggled today, to be honest. It wasn't very pleasant. When you come to see me do the keg, you're going to see just how much I suffered there, really. And it just goes to show that I really do need to work on my conditioning, because I say ultimately that's what's going to cost me in strongman competitions. So, I mean, you see me doing here like the 7 sets of 7 with 80 squats. It looks easy, but I can tell you I was struggling. I think on this my heart rate at one point was about 141 or something at one point. If you watch me between sets, you'll see that I keep looking at my watch. It's not actually a watch as such, it's like a Fitbit, and there you can see me looking at it, and that's basically me checking my pulse, checking my heart rate. And even when I was sitting down, it was well over 110, 120. Okay, so thankfully this is the 7th set. Last one now. My legs were a bit wobbly here. Fitness wise, it wasn't too bad actually. My heart rate weren't too bad. Like I say, it was only about 120. Well, I think it was about 141, but I felt all right. But my legs felt a bit jelly on the last 2 sets there. So I was, as you see, I'm a bit tired there, but I was so glad to finish because that was hard. Now here we come. This is the absolute killer now. I'd been kind of dreading this a little bit. Okay guys, time to do some more conditioning stuff. I'm going to use the 65 kilo keg over there, the blue keg, and I have to carry 20 metres every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. This is going to be really tough. Okay, here we go. So this is the first set. It was very, very hot out there. It was 27 degrees. There is actually a little track inside that I could have done it, but I elected to do it outside. And 2 main reasons for that. First of all, so I wouldn't have to take the keg inside the gym because I just couldn't be bothered. And secondly, sometimes people walk on the track and get in your way. So I found if I did it out here, it would actually be easier. Okay, so here we go, second set. First 2 weren't too bad, I felt okay. Notice on that first set I actually didn't sit down and just had a sip of Lucozade. So yeah, that keg's 65 kilos, which is almost 10.5 stone in old money. The programme called for me to do 10 sets, 20 metres every minute on a minute. Now looking back, I should have done the 40 kilo sandbag. They've got a little 40 kilo sandbag in there, but I knew that would be too easy if I did that, and I did kind of want to challenge myself. And to be honest, I've got to admit, I thought this would be a walk in the park actually. And for about the first 5, it wasn't too bad. I could handle it. But I'll say this is the third set I've just completed, and it was okay. So now I'm sitting down. Okay, so we're going up for the 4th one now. Little bit of heavy breathing here, but again I was coping quite well at this point. 65 keg is normally quite light for me, but like I say, when you're doing 10 sets and you're doing every minute on the minute, it really becomes cardio at that point. You know, it's like doing high rep deadlifts. It is an absolute killer. Okay, so number 5. So we're halfway here now. And I was starting to breathe a bit heavy. This was, by the time I got to 5, this was getting a little bit harder, but again I was still coping well. I actually do wish I had have done this in the gym because there was aircon in the gym. I should have done this in the gym. So taking it outside, I did actually make it a little bit harder on myself. But once I started, I couldn't stop, and I wasn't going to. I wanted to see it through. So this is 6, and this was quite hard actually. You can hear me breathing quite heavy there. Again, I'm looking at my watch, or my Fitbit I should say, checking my heart rate. I kept constantly checking it, and according to my Fitbit, my highest heart rate was about 141. But I don't believe that. I think it's a lying Fitbit, because by the time I got to the end, my heart felt like it was coming out my chest. I was absolutely murdered. It felt like my heart rate was like 200. So that's 7 done. That was really hard. But I'm looking at my Fitbit and it's only saying like 140 or something. I'm sure that's not right, more like 180. There's no way it was only 140 because I was really labouring here. So number 8. This was really hard for me, to be honest. At this point, I wanted to stop. I didn't want to go any further after this. This is where you have to dig deep, and it's more of a mind over matter sort of thing, really. You can hear me really wheezing there, and my breathing is getting noticeably heavier now. That was really hard. I wanted to stop there. I really did. I was barely resting. Literally a short rest, zip of fluid, and then I have to go again. Now at 9, I was really dreading this, but I'm trying to breathe as I'm doing it. I'm trying to do my best to just block the pain out and just keep going as much as I can. This was really hard. Again, I really wanted to stop here. This was very physically taxing. I've run out of Lucozade, so I've now started drinking water. I've drunk up all the Lucozade. This is the last one. At this point, I just wanted to die. This was absolutely brutal, but I thought, I'm not stopping on 9. You know, I'm not a pussy. I'm gonna see this through. And thankfully I did. I was so glad when it was over. So there we are, finally finished the 10. You don't actually see it here, but a little while afterwards, once I stopped the camera, I actually went inside, and I was laying on the floor for about 10 minutes afterwards because I was physically exhausted. That was so tough. I wish I'd have just used the 40 sandbag instead. Yes, it would have been a little bit easier, but to be honest, that was the purpose of today, for it to be quite easy. It shouldn't have been nowhere near that hard. I literally went to the limit there, so that was a bit silly. I think I bit off a bit more than I could chew. So finishing up, one motion at the stones, 6 sets to do, starting off with 70 kilos to a 60-inch platform. So the other mistake I made with front squats, if you notice, I didn't wear a belt, and I should have. I mean, the front squats, 7 sets of 7, I managed it, but I had a big back pump afterwards. So I actually had to sit down for several minutes, actually lay down just to try and ease my back, because I had a lot of back pump, and I was a bit physically knackered. So I went out and done the keg, and that really killed me. I was on the floor for I must have been at least 10 minutes afterwards, and I was just trying to recover as best as I could. On a Sunday, the gym I go to closes at 4, and by the time I got to the stones, it was getting on for 3 o'clock, and I had to bring the stones from outside, because they leave them outside now. Bring them in. I bought three in, the 70, the 80 and the 100. So for the first 4 sets, I used 70, as you can see here. Just one motion them to 60-inch platform, which is 5 feet. This time I made sure I wore a belt. I didn't want to take any chances here. I'm not using any tacky either, so there's no tacky involved here. So just trying to one motion them, keeping the stones light. I mean, the program does call for lightweight and all, so I just wanted to keep it light. So, yeah, to be honest, these weren't too bad. But I didn't want to go to 80 too soon, just in case. I didn't want... By the time I got round to doing these stones, I was very physically tired, I must add. I was very tired. I did kind of have to dig down deep a bit to just carry on doing these and just finishing it off. This would have been a lot easier if I'd have just used the 40 bag, because I wouldn't have been as fatigued by the time I got round to doing the stones, but hey-ho. So at this point, it was just about just trying to push myself on, even though my body was begging me to stop. Okay, so for the 5th set, I moved up to 80. The plan was I was going to do 80 on the 5th, and then if that went okay, maybe go 100 on the last one. But I just didn't feel 100 was there. And to be honest, the program did call for it to be light, and I'd already gone too high using a 65 keg when I shouldn't have done. So I just thought I'll just keep it to 80 on the stones for now. I won't go any higher than 80. I'm not using any tacky. I'm one motioning it to a very high platform, so there's no need to go heavy really. It's just supposed to be a light day. So I'm just being stupid if I just try and go heavier. There's no point. So here we are. This is the last one. Set 6 of 6. And this is the last thing I did. So thank you guys for watching. And I hope you enjoyed the video. This is the end of my first week back. I'm now going to start, and it'll be my next workout should be Tuesday. I'm now going to start a restoration phase. So again, won't be any heavy lifting for a while. I'm just going to try and work on making myself better and just get better. My balance is rubbish, and I've got a lot of deficiencies, especially in my fitness. So I'm just going to try and work on them for a bit as well. So hopefully, when I start a new heavy training block, I should be a bit more prepared. Okay, so thanks guys for watching, and take care.